So you think blues is like an acquired taste?
It's an acquired taste, especially if you're realism. If you're real, you know, 'cause I mean that's what it is. It's life, and 'cause some people don't like it so plain. As they say, it's like no sugar and cream on it.
Originally you were doing like pop music, is that right?
Yeah.
So how did you end up with the blues, and why are you sticking with
I
it?
guess just living in Chicago. All the people I knew on the other scene is now doing the blues, most all of them. I mean, probably because Chicago is such a blues-orientated town. There's people doing other things, but a lot of times they're not working regular either.
Well, you think this move with the legendary blues band is an advancement?
It doesn't necessarily have to be all permanent move, but it, you know, people have been doing this kind of thing ever since the beginning of time, changing, going out with different people for, see how it goes, you know. Yeah, Diana Ross didn't stay with the Supremes forever, and David Ruffin didn't stay with the Temptations, and so on and so forth, you know. But I'm saying, not saying you built up for a leaving, but because you work or do some records with someone, don't mean you're glued at the head together. If you got 3 stars in one group, just looking back at the Muddy Waters group, you know what I'm talking about, because they had Lil Walter in the group at one time. They had James Cotton, they had Otis Spann, all those people are stars on their own, so it doesn't make sense for anybody to keep all that kind of stuff together forever. Yeah. That's in their starting days, you know. Each and every one of those guys were good in their own right, and if you look at history, and it's like most bands that way, like I just said, the Temptations, everybody, they go in common, they made records and they were stars. And if you're too much talent in one group, can't stay too long, no way.
You started in church music, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
And how did that affect all the music you've done since? Would you say that's a pretty good, solid...
Yeah, I think it's one of the best you can get for real music, you know. When I say real music, I mean blues and soul. And,
well, there's a lot of soul in like gospel and church music.
Yeah, well, that's background. Plus, it's a good place, a good show place too. I mean, they kind of learn how to project themselves. Like you see a lot of gospel singers that background never had voice training because they learn the preacher projects. He has to be able to project. Yeah, a lot of times they have microphones and instruments and all that. So yeah, that's good proving ground.
What ends up being the connection between real life and the blues? And here I also want to bring in something I read in one of these other articles. You were mentioning singing ends up being kind of a therapy. How does that work for you?
What do you mean how does it work? You can't afford to get flustered out and go crazy and go lay on a psych's couch. You just sing it off your chest. Whatever the problem be, whether it be children or life or all the therapist does is basically let you talk about it to them anyway. They tell me about it.
And the blues do that for you?
Yeah, well, you can tell it does it for anyone if you want to do it. You know what I mean? I'm talking, only I'm singing it out, so I'm getting rid of all kind of frustration.
And it kind of works for the audience that way too, I guess.
Sure, that's why people come out.